Hey, everybody, this is Alan Fine. I'm here with Tony Shepard, who is the CEO and partner of 400 by Design, whose platform connects travel advisors serving high net worth clients with more than 200 of the most exclusive properties. But it not only does that, but it does that in style. And that's what we're going to talk about here on Insider Travel Report. So, Tony, I say that because I feel like that the luxury actually begins when the travel advisor reaches out to you, even before the trip. Is that true?
I think so. That's what we endeavor to do anyway. We want it to be a seamless booking experience for them, connecting their high net worth clients to these superior properties that we've been able to bring into the program. As you said, we have about 200 hotels. We have a couple hundred villas in the program and growing every day.
So 400 by Design. Give us a little history. October 21 is a date I looked up. What does that mean?
So the platform, the booking platform was actually launched at the beginning of October in 21. The program itself, or we actually call it a platform because it's more than just a simple program, has been around since the beginning of 2021, January of 2021. And, because the hotels and villas in the program, many of them were not even open, but they were looking to expand their brand to a different audience or a wider audience. We actually started a marketing program with them earlier in the year. So 400 by Design has been around since the beginning of 21, but the actual agent booking platform was not launched until October.
Who are you working with on this project?
So within 400 by Design, we have a number of people who have a great amount, a broad-based amount of experience in the luxury sector. So, for example, Karen Goldberg has a vast experience on the hotel side, and within Virtuoso, she spent about 10 years at Virtuoso building up their hotel program there. Robin Eastman has a lot of experience on the villa side. I believe he was one of the founders of Villas of Distinction, and so he's somebody who is very important there. My background for 25 years. My family owned and operated Pro Travel International. I don't need to say any more about that. I think it's relatively well known. And then my business partner, Tony Abrams, who was a co-founder of 400 by Design. He was actually the founder of 400, which is a member-based luxury travel, dining, and hospitality organization. And it's one of the preeminent brands within that sector right now. And then we are supported by a great tech team. We're supported by great PR. We just have a really good group of people and organizations that support this platform. And we're very happy to be working with all of them. And it shows in everything that we do, quite frankly, because there's quality through everything. And that comes from the experience in the luxury sphere.
All right, so let's talk about these world-class properties. Can you give us a smattering of what we can expect if we start to delve deeper?
What we tried to do was we tried to identify the hidden jewels in all five continents. And a lot of that came out of our experience through our time in the luxury sphere. And then also some of it came from what was going on in the pandemic when people were telling us they want a more private experience, a more exclusive experience, something where they can feel safe with their family, but still enjoy a luxury experience. And that was kind of the ethos behind this whole thing. How can we identify those properties that could deliver that supreme luxury experience, but do it in a way where our clients and the clients of our independent contractors can feel comfortable that it is not only a great experience, but a safe experience.
Okay. So, but there are too many, there are 200, so we're not going to name them here. But the other thing is that you're not just getting them these exclusive properties, but you're curating these over-the-top experiences as well. Can you talk a little bit toward that?
Yeah, so one of the things that that we were able to do through with 400 by Design is initially tap into the experience that we had had with our agency 400 that deals with ultra high net worth clients. It's a private member organization. It's a different company than 400 by Design. 400 by Design is a standalone organization, but the concept came through the things that we were hearing from our members. So one of the things that we have done for 15 years at 400 is curate and create these really exclusive and interesting products and services and experiences for them. And we wanted to extend that concept to a bigger pool of people for agents who are not part of 400. And so we created a separate company to do that.
Well, I mean, but I was looking at a smattering of them. For example, you want to talk about a helicopter wine tour in Tuscany? That's the kind of,
Those are the kind of things that are second nature to us. And what we've done is we've taken some of those past experiences based on the individual properties that we work with, based on some of our DMC partners that we work with. And obviously, we don't have exclusive relationships with DMCs. They work with everybody in the industry. But what we have been able to do is work with them to create some exclusive programs with them. And, we're enjoying actually creating those programs with them. Once they see what we're able to do, and once they see the audience that we're working with, they then come to us and say, hey, we've got this great idea.
Yeah,
exactly. And so, some of these programs are inspirational, some of them are aspirational, because on the 400 by Design side of things, it's not just the ultra high net worth client. It might be the client who wants that kind of experience, but only does that maybe once a year. It's not typical for them to do that every month. Like some of the the wealthier members of the community. We just want to create that group of experiences so that agents that come to our website and look through these properties, they can see that. The great thing about it is as well that when we send out the confirmations, we use a lot of the data that we've been able to create and collect over the years from our 400 team for added benefits to that. So we might send you a confirmation for a hotel in Paris, and then at the bottom it says, if you're in Paris, maybe talk to your clients about these 3 restaurants because these are our 3 favorite restaurants currently in Paris. So it's not only helping them to navigate the booking experience, it's also providing added value that they can then pass along to their clients. We call that insider information. And we actually create on a quarterly basis an insider magazine that that agents who are in this program actually get access to. And there's a lot of other great information in there that they can take and they can use.
Insider's a good name. I like the name.
It's we checked. It wasn't so.
No.
We don't mind borrowing.
We share that name in common.
Yeah, exactly.
But so, are these like the restaurants? Are these considered the enhanced client experiences that are part of that become part of the package?
So it's both. Some of them are the properties themselves have said, "Hey, I see that you sell this area. Here's a restaurant that we like, or here is a vineyard that we like, or here is an experience that you might want to include." That's something that we include in the whole program and in our database, and then we use that. We're constantly building our database of these experiences, because what's a great thing to be able to do is not just curate something for one client, but if it works, you can actually expand that experience to the whole population. And that's something that we like to do. There's no reason to recreate the wheel if we actually have something that works really well. And what works for one client often does work for another, as long as you can tweak it and customize it and make it a little more unique.
Right. Well, that's all the client side. Let's talk about the advisor side. The booking experience. You say it's seamless. Let's talk a little bit about it so that they're ready to use it.
So it's not an online booking platform. There's nothing automated about this. We believe in old school. We believe in relationships. We believe in direct communication. What we actually do is become the conduit between the agent and their client and the property itself. But we make the booking agent, the agent of record on everything. The way properties work, they like to focus through one IATA number, so we have no choice, but we have to do it through our IATA number. But all of the communication that comes from 400 by Design says, well, wait a minute, this is Mary Jo at XYZ Travel. It's her client. This is her contact information. Mary Jo has the right to do anything on behalf of this client with this booking, except perhaps cancel the reservation. That is something that we have to do because it's on our IATA number.
Got it.
And then we actually have a team in place to help manage that process. So when you go to the website, it's a very simple process. You go to 400bydesign.com, you register. We just basically need your IATA number or your CLIA number or whatever number you have, your name, your email, so we can reach out to you. That gets you behind the firewall. You can see all the properties that are in there. If there is a property you're interested in selling, there is a booking form right on there. And then when that comes to us, that connects you with the booking agents on our side. And then they reach out and they start that communication process with you.
That's great. So again, as I said, the luxury begins right as the travel advisor reaches out to you. And then you also said that they can earn more and faster. Let's address that a little bit.
So I have to be a little careful because I know that in the past it's gotten me into trouble when I've actually said too much about the specifics of how you earn. But we have, in full disclosure, we have been able to negotiate enhanced commission programs at most of the properties, whether it's an additional commission, whether it is a net rate that we can manage that way. And like most independent contractors that have a host agency, and we, by the way, are not a host agency. You can have a host agency and still work with us. We have a commission split that gives you the lion's share of whatever revenue is generated. So it's a significantly larger piece of the business, of the revenue, than you would typically get if you were not in some kind of an enhanced program. Look, there are lots of programs out there like that give enhanced commissions or enhanced revenue if you are in one of their preferred supplier programs or something. We wanted to create this opportunity that became somewhat agnostic in terms of consortia, somewhat agnostic in terms of the preferred supplier programs that are out there. Using an example, if there was a Four Seasons in this program and you at your agency were a Four Seasons preferred partner, we would recommend you don't do that with us. Do it with your own agency. You need the booking credit. It's got to make sense for you. But if you are not a preferred partner in any of these programs, and we have a hotel in our program where the most you will make is a standard 10% commission, then we would perhaps ask you to give us a look to see if it made sense for you. In addition to that, when we started this program, this platform, we focus grouped it with agents that specialize in the field of luxury sales, luxury clients. And while they were definitely interested in enhanced revenue, the most important thing that kept coming up was we would like that money faster, because we're trying to get back some of the money we've lost in the last 2 years. And we don't want to wait the typical 45 plus days for a hotel to send us a commission. So what we realized was that once this program is up and running, all we had to do was to be able to float that commission for a 6 or 8 week period, and then the cash flow takes care of everything. And so we actually dug into our own pockets and said, we will pay you within 10 days of checkout, and then we will collect the commission. So you don't have to chase a hotel to collect commission. You don't have, and actually in many cases, it's not chasing a commission because it's a net rate, but we will make it simple for you. So in addition to receiving hopefully a higher revenue stream, you also receive that money within 10 days as opposed to 45 days.
Hence my feeling that this is the luxury starts when they reach out to you. So thank you for doing that, because it's important at this time. Yeah.
Well, it's very kind of you to say that. We have had tremendous feedback so far from the agents in the program, and there are at this point hundreds of agents in this program from not only all of the United States, because it's the communication is web based. We have agents in Australia, we have agents in Europe, and in the luxury sector, unlike say a corporate booking, which is very time sensitive, you usually get a little lead time. So it doesn't matter if you're in Melbourne, for example, and you don't get an answer to the next day, because you don't need an answer the next day or immediately, because your client's not leaving for 3 months. So it's actually working very well.
Okay.
And we're thrilled. We're thrilled with the feedback. I mean, we are so humbled by this whole experience in terms of how it is working. And the feedback from the properties that are in the program has also been very good. Because when we started this program, we initially said to them, let's just focus on your top room categories, the ones that give you the highest revenue stream, because typically the luxury booker is buying those top room categories. They're traveling a little more often, they're staying in the nicer properties, and they're staying in the better room categories. So let's focus on just those room categories. The feedback from the hotels has been such that about half the hotels now have said to us, yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's just give it on all room categories. And so it's working, and we're excited to see that.
So how do you feel about the bookings? I mean, we've come, you sort of, you missed the pandemic. I guess you're starting right after on the tail of it. Is it, how's it looking for 22, 23?
So, we went into 21, fingers crossed, hopefully, because the vaccinations were beginning at the beginning of 21, and we thought that it would happen.
And you got all the openings and the closings.
Fits and starts, and and a lot of the hotels that signed up for the program weren't even open, so we couldn't even sell them anyway. Our bookings for 22 look great. We are, and advanced bookings as well, because what we have seen in the last few years is that the booking window was narrower. That's actually changed a little bit right now, because people are coming back and saying, well, I don't know what's going on in this world of the pandemic, but I can't live my life like this anymore. So I have to find a way to manage it. And I'm hoping that you can help me to manage it, which we do. And so they're willing to give us much longer booking windows now. So we have bookings all through the summer and into the fall. We're already talking about festive next year. And people are doing it with a level of confidence that we haven't seen in a couple of years.
At a time when it's so chaotic, you're able to help travel advisors how?
Well, it's interesting, because above and beyond the additional enhanced revenue and the faster payout, one of the other things that came out of the focus groups was that they're strapped for time right now. Because now that clients are all crawling out of the woodwork in a great way, we want that. It's just that they're so busy. So to be able to reach out to us and say, this is what my client wants, because it's a booking form on our website, it comes to us and we can run with it. We take it all, we put it all together for them, and we deliver to the agent a finished product. So it saves them so much time in the back and the forth with the supplier, and is this the right room? Is this the right experience? How do I get this upgrade? What is so it just is.
You save them time and you make them look good.
Well, hopefully we make them look good, but we do definitely save that time. And that was actually something that we didn't really anticipate that is something that they would be interested in, because agents that work in the luxury sector, they wrap their arms around every aspect of the booking for the client. They don't like to give that up. And by the way, as a luxury booking agent in my past, I don't like to give that up. I want that connection myself. But because they can trust us, they know the people within this organization. They know Karen, they know me, they know Tony Abrams, they know Robert Eastman, they know all of us. They feel that there's a level of trust there where they say, hey, this is what I need. Now you go do that while I move on to something else. And when it's done, let me know. And that's working very well.
We go out to more than 99,000 travel advisors, a good percentage of which are selling, luxury, and a percentage of those are selling those top. So the question I have for you is, what do you want them to know? What's your final words to them?
So, I mean, in a nutshell, if you have the client who is looking for a luxury experience, take a look at our website, 400bydesign.com. It's a quick 2-minute sign up. There are no booking targets that we're looking for. Users once, users 100 times, users never, because you still get access to all of our amazing collateral.
And it doesn't cost anything. You might as well
it doesn't cost anything. And the bottom line is, if you don't have an enhanced program with a supplier within your agency, then we can find a way to create a luxury experience where you put more money in your pocket and you get that money faster. It's as simple as that.
You become another tool in their belt.
That's exactly right. That's actually a great way of putting it, because, when a consultant looks to sell something for a client, they look at all the tools available to them. Do I have an enhanced program? Do I have a preferred supplier relationship? Is this rep a good friend of mine who I can trust? Whatever it is, can I connect my client to this property in a way that makes sense for them? So you use lots of different tools that are available. We are, to use your expression, just another tool in that toolbox, and it might not be something that you use every single time.
But it's a velvety tool. It's not like a harsh tool with sharp edges.
Yeah, perhaps. But listen, the agents that are working on this have been around the block a few times, and they are all booking agents themselves, so they kind of know what's important. And interestingly enough, it's not just for the person that travels in a luxury way. Historically, that's the way they've always done. Because of some of the programs that we're able to put together around some of these properties, it actually gives you a really good value proposition for those people that are maybe only doing that once a year. Look, everybody's business is a mix. You have the great stuff, you have the middle stuff, and you have the stuff that you just have got to get out of your face so you can move on to the better stuff. That's fine. But a lot of, and that's a mixture. Everybody has that mixture. But what we also find is that some of the agents who are talking to us have one or two unicorn clients. Most of what they do is the back and forth to Chicago, staying in a Marriott or something, because we do all of their business. But once a year, he or she takes their family away and they want a luxury experience. And that's where something like this comes in, because we have those luxury experiences. We have a great number of properties. We have a wonderful network of contacts, and we're able to put all that together in a way that may be able to give you an enhanced revenue stream and a faster payout, but not in any way that compromises the experience for your client. And it's, like I said, it's consortium agnostic. If you're in a consortium, check us out. If you're not in a consortium, check us out. We're not competing with any of those consortia. We have no desire to compete with them. They could crush us. We're a much smaller organization. We're more boutique in terms of how we operate. But we do have a big population of agents who have signed up for the program right now because they see some value for their clients.
So, Tony, we go out to quite a lot of suppliers. What would you like them to know?
Alan, that's a really good question. So we look at this in two ways. What can we do to help them get access to the high net worth client for their bookings? But also, what can we do to help the suppliers promote their brand to the agency community that actually handles those high net worth clients? So it's kind of a two-pronged presentation from a supplier perspective. They're in the program, they get access to this large network of independent contractors around the world, actually, who have access to these clients who travel more often, spend a little more, stay in the higher category of room, the kind of client everybody wants. But in addition to that, we have a lot of opportunities to promote their brand as well. So we do a monthly newsletter where we highlight anywhere from 5 to 7 of the properties in the program. We do a quarterly insider magazine where we do 20 to 25 hotels and maybe 5 villas, where we do a real deep dive into those. And some of those are seasonal, so we might do a winter one that promotes destinations and where those hotels are that makes sense. We might do a summer one or something like that. Another thing that the suppliers have been telling us that is actually very valuable to them, we also produce a quarterly white paper. Now, that white paper is not based on surveys. That white paper is based on real bookings, real activity from the members of this community and the about 8,000 high net worth individuals and growing that we're sending all of this information out to and making these bookings from the agent community. And within that, they might get things like where's the high net worth traveler going right now? What's the kind of experience that he or she is looking for? What's the ADR last quarter, say in the Caribbean or in Europe or in the United States? Tell me the best or the number 1 through 5 top domestic and international destinations. And domestic, I mean domestic US. So there's just a ton of really good information that a sales team at a property can share with their team and say, hey, look at this. Maybe this is something that we should be considering as we promote our brand.
Well, I hope that, well, first of all, that's a great summary. And I hope that we can help bring more eyeballs to your website, and maybe those who didn't really realize that this was an option for them will participate.
Well,
so
that's very kind of you, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel.